Welcome back, everyone, to the Awful Takes podcast. My name is Nabahi, and I'm joined by two special guests today. Yeah, who do we got here?
Hello, my name is Shaandiin, Nabahi's sister.
I am Forrest. Happy to be here.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good. We're feeling a little limitless.
All right. We're going to have a special episode this week. Wallied is unfortunately busy working on a film set. So I kind of took the time to kind of record like a in between, bonus little thing. I'm super excited because I talk to my sister a lot about movies and Forrest as well. And when we talk about movies, it can go on for a long, long time. And it's kind of embarrassing sometimes on my end. All right. Shaandiin, I guess I'll start with you. Where did your love of movies kind of start from? I know that's kind of a big question, but do you have like a specific time or a specific movie you were watching and you were like, I want to know what goes on behind the lens?
I don't know how much you've mentioned your history within this podcast.
Some stuff. It kind of comes and goes, but I not too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the viewers, Nabahi, along with my older brother and I and our cousins used to like make little films on VHS tapes. And I think that is kind of where our love for movies started. I think it started before that, like whether it was doing like movie nights on Friday nights and just watching stuff, our dad putting on really random action movies. I think we were always watching movies. And so that was like a part of like our household. And so, yeah, I think just movies always fascinated me, and it was like a form of escape or a form of seeing another world. And it was always something that was really fun to do. So
that's true. I actually remember now our dad being like, anytime that like nothing was on, he would say, put something on. Mm-hmm. He would always say that, like, oh, go grab a movie, put it on. And I remember that happening a lot, especially when we moved. It was almost like something had to be on or some,
he really didn't like silence.
Honestly, yeah. Forrest, where I actually have never asked you this. Where does your love of movies and everything come from?
Yeah, I think the abbreviated version is like in 7th grade. My basically love of film started young with obviously watching movies like any child does, I would hope. But in 7th grade, we had like a fairly enlightened teacher who taught social studies.
Oh, cool.
And he started out the year with like us looking at media and like who's represented in that media. So he made us like take magazines and just clip out all the faces and then like for better or worse, like sort of categorize like what type of people we're seeing, mm-hmm. like men, women, what ethnicities are being portrayed, and just like see the different representation and like actual percentages and stuff, which was a really interesting exercise to see like who we're seeing represent ourselves in mm-hmm. the United States. And then at the end of the program, at the end of the class, like we all had to make our own commercials with like, I don't know if you remember those flip cameras. They're like 720p. They were like this big.
Oh, yeah.
And a USB stick flipped out so you could plug it in the computer and you would like edit in iMovie. So we made our own commercials, and my friends made a commercial for a fake product called Endangered Species Microwavable Meals.
Dang,
and the idea is like
heck?
you could eat like bald eagle, but like in like a TV dinner.
Yeah.
And so we made these films for I probably wouldn't call it a film now, but like videos and
vignettes.
So it started my love of like making movies, was just
Nice.
like making stuff with my friends digitally. So a bit after you guys, because you guys use VHS.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And I would have been digital.
That's insane. I guess one of the questions that I always find interesting is like, is there a specific moment where you're watching a movie and you're kind of like, or you almost break the boundary of like, how did they film this, or what goes on behind the lens? Do you have like a specific moment that you remember, like which movie where you were like, wait, how did they do that? Like what goes on behind that shot? That's kind of insane.
Oh, man. I remember watching The Social Network, like when it first came out, and like being completely blown away by it. I think at that point I was in college. So or maybe I wasn't. I really don't remember what year The Social Network came out. But I feel like I started analyzing movies a bit more. And that was like one of my favorites just because David Fincher is such a mastermind in how he like planned shots and being alongside like Aaron Sorkin and stuff just like made it a really fun piece to like dissect. And I remember just that movie got me so hyped up for a really long time and I just kept watching it over and over again. But I'm sure there's earlier films that are like probably like The Lion King or like The Little Mermaid or like other Disney films that I don't know.
Yeah. Forrest, do you have a film?
It's a weird tie-in because I feel like Limitless, which is eventually the film we're talking about, is like deeply inspired by, I think, Fight Club.
Oh,
like I feel like honestly, that's like the thing. And the shot I think I remember most as a kid because like my brother is 5 years older than me and he got me into really messed up films. Like I saw Pulp Fiction at probably like way too young of an age. Like, and I now know that my current friends, I have a really good friend, Sam, who like grew up beside me. My brother would show us these films and he'd be like, I think that was way too young to show us Pulp Fiction. I was like, what do you mean? Like, these are just but anyway, there's a shot in Fight Club where like the camera like hovers around the guy's face as he like shoots himself in the mouth and then it like goes in his mouth, I think, or something weird. And like now I know it's animated, but as a kid I was just like, how did they like get that shot? So I think that was inspiring to me.
That's cool.
Which is crazy that both of our movies are Fincher.
Oh yeah,
Fincher
that's
movies.
right.
What about yours?
For me, it's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint, but I would definitely say for me, watching some of the Lord of the Rings movies and seeing like the perspective and everything. Like you would see like they were trying to like do the hobbits and stuff and they're really small and you'd have like Gandalf, he's all huge. And I was just like, how are they doing this? Like, this is kind of, it looked real. So I was like, there must be something. And then to like watch the behind the scenes and you see like the different camera perspectives that they would do, that really kind of blew my mind. Even now watching it, I'm like, dang, that was a lot of work for just some simple shots, you know, just to convey that these hobbits were tiny people. I'm like, that's really cool. All right. I guess as of right now, what are like your top films, your Letterboxd top 4?
Oh shoot.
Let me grab my phone. I think.
I just started Letterboxd and I still don't know how to navigate it. And honestly, it makes me scared to like put a top 4 because it shifts so often.
I feel like that's something with you that happens a lot is it does shift often. When I feel like for other people, it's like, oh, it's this and they know it, you know?
Yeah, I think like Forrest is the type of person to be like Ready Player One and he just watches it over and over again. And I'm like, how can you tolerate watching that movie 50 times?
But that's a comfort film for me. It's not like a high art, but it's very good. It's Spielbergo, which is... Nobody ever asked me my top 4, but my top 4 are Perfect Days, Wim Wenders. I think that was like a year ago. Ratatouille, The Goat. Memories of Murder, Bong Joon-ho. And You Were Never Really Here by Lynn Ramsey.
Oh, okay.
Those are
Which is a
great.
film I saw 8 times in theaters because I think there was nothing else on.
Yeah.
But I did watch. I love that film so much. It's
Wow.
a big inspiration for me.
That's cool. What about you, Shaandiin?
I would just have to go based off of like right now because I can't really think of like all the films I've ever watched. I still really like Paris, Texas, which is now becoming the most performative male film bro answer. So I feel a little bit ashamed about that one. And then let's see. I really like Marty Supreme. That was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Fievel goes
Fievel goes
Vital.
Vital.
I've never seen. I don't know. It's not my.
Yentl
Yeah.
goes west.
Let's see. Oh, Pinocchio by Guillermo del Toro and Paddington too.
Nice.
Although they're not the artsy bro answers, but I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Those are the ones that come to mind.
I think it's cool though. I like the whole personal side of movies. I feel like some people get really caught up in like the crazy films, the top, critically rated films. I guess I kind of akin it to like Tyler, the Creator, when he asked people like, what's your top 5 favorite albums? And he's like, I don't want to hear you say NWA and Tupac. He's like, you were young kids. You weren't around when that came out. Like, I want to hear your top 5. I want to hear your top 4, like whatever it is. So I like it when people kind of put like movies that aren't really, the crazy films,
Yeah, I feel like it's become a performative thing to be like, oh, these are my top 4. And it's like, I got to sift through all like the craziest like French new wave cinema in order to like find like my favorite answer that people are going to think I'm cool for.
It's like people who go like on the Criterion Closet stuff, they find like all the crazy stuff. I'm like, if I was there, I'd pick a lot of the films that probably people wouldn't really care about. And it'd be kind of embarrassing.
Same.
What's your favorite movie, Nabahi, that everybody hates?
Mission Impossible 2. I really love that
that's
movie.
A good answer. That's a great answer.
John Woo is kind of insane, but I really love it. And then also we've talked on the podcast about Alien versus Predator. I have a lot of fond memories of that movie, but it's not good. But I love it.
It's kind of like the Monster Energy drink of movies.
The Rockstar.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of movies like that. Like I call them like guilty pleasure movies. Phantom of the Opera is one of them. I really love that movie. And every time I talk about it to people, they don't like it. And it's specifically like theater people for some reason really hate that movie.
Yeah. That was a masterpiece.
But it's so good. It's like a lot of fun. I don't know. Do you have a favorite guilty pleasure movie, Shaandiin?
Oh man. This is, again, my mind just starts going blank. I think I need the Limitless pill in order to start sifting through all these memories. I would say like my one that like it's problematic now, White Chicks, is really funny, but like a lot of people don't like. I think it's a questionable movie now.
Yeah,
White Chicks is great.
You didn't want to watch it, and then you did, and then you loved it.
That's true. The first scene is kind of a bit intense, but I think after that it gets more even keeled.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite guilty pleasure movie?
Mine is a film that nobody's ever seen. It's called The Big Year. It's a film with Owen Wilson, Jack Black, Steve Martin, and they're birders, which is the correct term for bird watchers. And they're trying to see the most birds in a year.
Oh, okay. And
it's an incredible movie and nobody's seen it. I think it has like 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's a really heartwarming film. There was like that was a moment. I think that year there was like a string of films that came out. I think like Wild came out that year.
Yeah.
And there was like a bunch of travel films that came out. There was another film about, I think it's called The Trail. And I think it was like Martin Sheen or somebody like that, like was going along the same trail of like their son who died of like an opiate overdose on this like European trail. And then he like does the same trip as his son.
Okay.
And I thought it was a really heartfelt movie. Also like 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, but like there's like a string of films that came out that year that are guilty pleasures of mine.
Nice.
But I don't know if there's a lot of films like that are being made, like that are sort of cheesy. They're mid to low budget.
Yeah.
I feel
like those films went extinct kind of, and it's unfortunate because they were honestly some of the most fun movies and just kind of insane to see like what studios were putting a lot of money into. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool. I know for me, one of the ones that I've mentioned recently is a movie called Shanghai Nights. Also has Owen Wilson in it, and it has Jackie Chan.
That has a big following, I think.
People really hate that one. They like the first one. They're like, Shanghai Noon's pretty good, but Shanghai Nights is just terrible. I'm man. I have a lot of fun with that movie. But yeah. Great. All right. So when you're a guest on this podcast, you make a recommendation. Either I have seen or haven't seen. In this case, I've seen parts of this movie, but I don't think I ever actually watched the full thing. Shaandiin, what was the recommendation you made today?
The recommendation was a movie called Limitless, which is starring Bradley Cooper. It's a movie from 2011, the year that I graduated high school. And it feels very dated rewatching it. But yeah, it's a movie that's actually based off a book, which I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
A 2001 book called The Dark Fields by Alan Glynn. And it was supposed to be like a sci-fi book. And apparently it's a lot.
Supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't read it, so it was, I guess. And
it was supposed to be thrilling.
Apparently it's much more depressing than the movie. And a lot of people don't like the book and they like the movie more. And a lot of people like this movie for some reason. And I guess we'll talk about it.
It scratches an itch. this movie.
Did you have any role to play in this recommendation for us? Or did you kind of
No,
just let
Shaandiin, I didn't know where it came out of. It was just like out of left field. She's like, Limitless. I was like, where did that come from? Out of all the movies. I think this movie, I think it seeps into your subconscious in a weird way, though, which I'm excited to get into.
Okay. So the movie came out in 2011. I just kind of want to describe when this came out because I think it plays a lot into it. This feels like some frat guy heard like an idea or heard like someone say in like a conversation something that is just like meant for your brain to kind of attach to. Like people who used to say like daddy long legs are the poisonous spiders on earth and they can't pierce your skin, something like that.
A fun fact.
And he was probably at like a party and someone said, we only use 20% of our brain. And he thought this is an idea for a full movie. So that's kind of how I feel with this movie. And at the time, like I'll admit in the trailers and everything, it's kind of an intriguing idea. I remember hearing a lot about it when it came out. I remember a lot of my friends went to go see it and they thought it was so cool. And I still don't know why, because watching this, I'm like, this movie doesn't really have any action. It doesn't have, it's literally just this guy who got superpowers and uses it to hook up with women. And I was just like, what the hell is this? But my friends really loved it at the time. And
he's the first frat guy to take the pill instead of the other way around.
And of course in this movie, the guy's a freaking writer. I was like, really? Like this writer was probably like, oh my God. He probably had writer's block and he remembered that someone told him we only use 20% of our brain. All right. So this movie starts out in this insane opening shot. I hate this shot so much. It's just like this endless zoom of like pictures and it goes on for like 4 minutes. I'm like, what the hell is this?
You forgot to say where it actually opens, which is like the trope of like, you probably wondering why I got here. But it's, I don't know. I feel like that way to like open a movie is always really dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of things make fun of it now, like Ratatouille or like whatever. It's become like a parody of itself. But the fact that this movie took it seriously is like a really funny thing to me. And like the knocking of like the door and stuff, even though it sounds like pans being hit and stuff. I feel like the opening itself. And then they call it a fractal zoom shot.
Oh my God.
Which was apparently their really point of pride in making the movie, I guess.
Well, it made me upset because it's like it happens in the beginning. It's like 4 minutes long over these credits. And then it happens like 3 more times in the movie. I'm like, you're just using the same trick over and over. And it just started to bug me. I was like, I can't do this. But in this opening, like it's strange. I really felt like put off by it. And in the weirdest way, I was just like, the cinematography is bothering me. The lighting was bothering me. And I really, from the moment it starts, I already kind of assumed they make everything look dull. So when he's on the pill, it's going to be like bright or whatever. And of course they did that. I was just like, oh my God. But I did not like this opening at all. It really kind of made me sick to my stomach.
I feel like the idea of it's really cool. It like kind of looks like, I mean, I was explaining it to Forrest as like that trend of like hyperlapse. I don't know if you remember that, like where people would like move like a stills camera through space to make it look like it was going by really fast. And I think it's like fun, but for it to go on for like 3 minutes over credits is like a lot and a little intense, and it didn't really serve that much of a purpose.
Had you seen this movie before? You saw parts of it, right?
I feel like this is a film my dad would put on like the TV while doing stuff.
Nice.
So, and that's how I've watched a lot of movies. Like, I don't think I've seen Jaws all the way through. I think I've pieced it together through my dad watching it. So I think I thought I watched this movie, but then it's one of those ones or sometimes I think it's not Watch Mojo, but like on YouTube, they'll have those like 1 out of 10 clips of a feature film. And sometimes I'll watch movies. So I think Limitless is one of those films that I've done that with. And so I pieced it together, but I did not like the ending threw me like off. I just never knew how it ended.
Same.
And that was shocking.
Very strange.
But I think I've seen scenes from it, but no, I've never sat down fully. So like I feel like just watching it, I just saw every other film like it was referencing. Like the opening shot is him like contemplating suicide on the side of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
And it's like, will he do it? Of course, like, he's not going to do it. But then it made me think of like Megalopolis.
Oh,
Because like there's a trope of like a really smart guy on the ledge. So I think Megalopolis does it. This film does it. I'm positive other films have done it. I don't know what else, but I wonder what is the trope of like a Platoian smart man like standing on the precipice of death because he's too smart for this world. It's
his 4-digit IQ.
Yeah, his 4-digit IQ. It's one of the most intense openings of a film I've seen in a while, though, so I gotta take my hat off to it because it's high octane there, and then it goes to the most high octane shot of like zooming through Manhattan at 1,000,000 miles an hour
into someone's brain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, into his brain.
There are pointless shots like that. Like when he takes the pill, it cuts to like this X-ray of someone swallowing, and I was like, "What was that?" It was like a second. I was like, "That was distracting."
There was like a lot of little cutaways in the film, and I feel like we could go through them. There was one specifically of his girlfriend where she was like answering, or he was answering the phone to her, and she said her name, and she said his name, and like it went back to a cutaway of like her like slightly naked whispering his name into his ear, and it's like, what?
This is weird.
This is wild.
I did pick up on the Fight Club thing right away when I heard the narration and stuff going on. I was like, all right, I feel like this guy saw Fight Club. Clearly he was trying to emulate it in some kind of way. But even then, like the internal monologuing and stuff isn't that intriguing at all. It just sounds very just like, again, I'm seeing this guy writing. Like I'm literally seeing him write by the pen, and he's thinking to himself, "Oh, this sounds really good. Oh, that would be cool." Like that's how I feel with a lot of the dialogue in this movie. Like it just feels so like, oh, this is the smartest thing that's ever been written.
It feels like a fairly boring movie if you take away the narration.
Yeah. But I guess so after this intro, after the credits and everything, they do a lot of like quick stuff, which I guess I didn't mind. I'm glad they kind of didn't drag some of this stuff out. You see his wife like leave him or something. Mm-hmm. He runs into an old friend who was the brother of his ex, and he's like all successful or something. One of the things I didn't like was the depiction of this guy being a writer. I was just like, really?
Yeah.
Like he's wearing like all these clothes and everything. His hair is all messy. I was just like, oh my God, I can't stand this. Like this is, it was so annoying. I don't know.
It's pretty funny to see like Bradley Cooper in that state. I don't know. Like I think like the writer thing, it just falls so flat later on in the movie that it's like, what's the point? And it like almost depicts him as like, it's either that he has depression or he's a loser, and I can't quite figure out what their stance was on it. And I don't know. It's like there wasn't really much to fix, and I don't know. It just seemed like he was kind of depressed, I guess. I don't understand why.
It was so quick. I think to your point of saying that like it was snappy, which was nice because like if they spent any time on it, it would be
just dragged out,
really boring. But like I mean, like you said, like his wife leaving him was, I think, a 3-second shot of her, like it's a flashback, and she's like, "It isn't working," and then that's it, and then she drives off. And I'm like, that's his in narratively, that's what you call your ghost, is like your like pain of the past that is like used to make a character likable. So like his ghost was like 3-second clip of like, this is over, and you're like, okay.
I feel like that's how the writer and director views like a lot of like, I guess the women in this movie are very brief. Like it's almost like they say one thing or do something, and then they're out of the next scene, and it's just like, I don't know. It just felt really, really strange.
Which is also kind of a crazy thing because I didn't realize that this script was written by a woman. So she adapted the whole book. But I think also like, I don't know, I have a lot of female screenwriter friends, and I think it's hard to like push what you want to write. And I think during this time, it was very much like these kind of like stories that involve females, but they really have no point in the plot, whether it's like, I don't know, besides like pushing a man forward because like they got broken up with or something, like they give them no depth.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see like a female writer writing females like this, even though, I don't know, I guess maybe that's also how the book depicted them too. So Because then it talks about his next girlfriend, which was the inciting incident, which is like the guy giving him the pill, and he's like, "I'm your ex-girlfriend's brother," and then he's like, "Oh, Melissa," and then it like does a quick cutaway of him getting married to her and saying "I do" or something.
Yeah, the sister and the wife looked a little too similar for my taste.
I didn't know they were different until halfway through, and he sees her at like a bar or something, and I was like, "Who's that supposed to be?" I was like, "Am I supposed to know who this is?" And then I was like, "Wait a minute, that's the girl at the beginning," and I was like, "I thought that was the other girl that he was like on a date with," or whatever. I was lost. I was like, "Wow, they did not explain that well at all."
But this brother, like this ex-girlfriend brother, like he's like, I don't know, I don't get him. I don't get his character. Like, what does he do? Like,
He's a dealer.
He's a dealer, but then not. And then he
Yeah.
like automatically knows what Bradley Cooper's character is going through. He's like, "Oh, let me guess, creative problems." And it's like, what do you even know about? Like, what is your point?
And he pitches him this pill, and it's like insane to think it's like these conversations happen so briefly, and he literally looks at the pill. It's like this clear pill, and I'm like, how did like red flags not go off in your head of like, that's strange?
In the little baggie too.
Yeah. And it's like, what does he say? Is he like portraying or saying to Bradley Cooper that he works in like pharmaceuticals or something? Isn't that what he says or something?
I think he used to, his
Used to
shtick
be a
was like,
dealer.
he's like, "I used to be an ex-drug dealer, but now I work in pharmaceuticals." And he's like trying to like, my main thing is like, why is he trying to get Bradley Cooper to take the pill? Is it like a plight for his like sister or something?
Yeah.
Or is his sister so mad that they broke up that like he's like giving him this pill? Like, there's no reason why he should be giving him this pill in the first place.
There isn't. And especially when you find out that all these people who are on the pill like turn psycho and they try to like find him. It's like, why would you keep putting more people on this pill? Like, isn't that attracting like people trying to kill you? Like, I don't know. It was really strange.
We can
$800
answer
pop.
this question ourselves because I went and did the liberty of finding 3 of our own Limitless pills. So you guys can't see this at home, but I have 3 clear pills sitting on a little dish, and I would implore us all to each take one. This isn't a bit. I did find a Limitless pill, and there's only 3, so it might ruin our lives. But here we go.
Bottoms up.
All right.
We can find ourselves why we would each want to take the pill.
It's clear. So here we go. NZ1 or whatever the freak it's called.
NZT 184.
All right.
All right, it only takes 30 seconds to kick in.
Here
Then
we
you
go.
have a 4-digit IQ.
4-digit. Okay, that's one of my things with this movie is like, it's one thing to like say smart mumbo jumbo or whatever in a movie. Like I don't mind that. But when it's just like, you can tell not a lot of thought was put into it, that's where it starts to lose me. Like with the 4-digit IQ, I'm like, come on. Like, I get this pill's like the God pill, but even then, like, wouldn't it still be like below 1,000? Like,
Is it the limitations on IQ? Like,
when
Yeah, what's
you-
the limit? I should check what the limit
isn't
on
it like
IQ
180
is.
or
we
something?
should, yeah. Because when he takes this pill, 4-digit IQ, he does a lot of stupid stuff. Like immediately after taking a God pill, he wants to do like stock trading and stuff. I'm like, what? That doesn't make sense.
Well, the first thing he wants to do is like mess with his neighbor's wife. And then he wants to clean his house. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to finish my book." Like his level of priorities, you think after taking a God pill would like get your priorities straight. But he's like, "No, I want to like sleep with women first." It's like his thing.
Let's start with the first thing on the to-do
No, I
list.
think he gets a haircut first. And
No,
then,
no. That was the second time
Oh,
he took
that's
it.
the second time.
And then it also, the level of priorities is like getting a haircut, working out, and
Yeah,
then
that's so wild. Like, I can
investing
only-
in stocks.
I can only like make the parallel like this is like enhanced cocaine. So like doing a bunch of coke and then calmly getting a haircut is the craziest, I think, most psychopathic behavior I've ever seen. And it's just like Bradley Cooper staring at himself in the mirror, getting a haircut calmly, like on the Limitless pill.
And they just
It's
do
a
the
very
zoom
uncanny
thing.
shot.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh
they
my
do the
God. One of the shots that I hate that they used a few times in this movie is when someone takes a pill, you see like the old version of themselves in like back of frame, and then the new one pops up. and he like turns to look at his older self, and then I hate that.
With
and
the line, "I was blind, but now I see."
Yeah, and then it happens to his girlfriend halfway through the movie when she has to take it. I'm just like, I hate that shot so much. It's so stupid.
And in that moment, he also like, it's not like he really becomes a genius. It's that he becomes like observational. Like he sees a book and he's like, I remember all of this stuff that I barely looked at. And it's like, what is the superpower here? Like, I don't understand.
Well, the first time he uses it is on the angry Asian lady stereotype.
Oh yeah.
And it's just like a really cringy scene. And then
and he like becomes Chat GPT for a moment. And he's just like listing all the facts at her, and she's like still yelling at him
for like 5 minutes straight without a breath.
It seems like the director was like, can you just yell at him for like 4 minutes for this shot?
For this super cool 360 shot.
There's so many stupid shots in this movie, like where he's doing that. It like does like this fisheye thing, and you see like the girl and everything's blurry, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. And then there's stuff later on where it's like he's like thinking about numbers or something, or he's typing, and then they show all these numbers falling or like these letters on a keyboard. Yeah. I'm just like, I hate this so much. Like, why? And it's like these cheap effects too of like these letters falling and they start forming sentences. And I'm just like, or he like looks at the roof and sees like stock trading, and I'm just like, oh my God, I hate this.
It's really dumb. And also, I mean, like I kind of think about like what the alternative would be, because like, if you made a movie about like somebody like thinking really hard, you're just showing them like sitting down, doing nothing essentially. And so like, I mean, I guess I understand why they had to do that, but it still feels really cheesy to me now watching stuff like that.
It's like Jimmy Neutron Brain Blast.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good point. So what happens after the first pill incident? What does it go to? It's like,
okay, so he takes the first pill, and then he realizes that like he was able to like finish writing his book. So he wants another one. And so he takes the business card, which by the way, like why would the business card have that guy's home address on it?
No, I thought he was walking home and then he seduces his landlord's wife.
No,
that's the first pill, isn't it?
No, the first pill, he's arguing with her, and then
then he seduces her, then he sleeps with her, and then he cleans his house.
He cleans his house.
That's the second thing
and then he's
does.
like, "Oh, I need to finish writing my book," and then he finishes it,
and then he finishes,
and he gives it to his manager,
right?
And then his manager's like calling him, and then he's like, "I'm going to go get the next pill."
Yes,
and so he goes to like his ex-girlfriend's brother's house. And he's like, I want more. And then he's like, you have to do my laundry and go pick up food.
Go get food.
And then he comes back and he's like all shot up and on the couch.
Well, it was a bad like makeup effect too. Like the guy opens the door and his face is like minorly scratched or whatever. And the guy, Bradley Cooper's like, what happened? Oh my God. And I'm like, you literally could explain that with anything. Like, oh, I fell. Oh, something happened. I don't know. It looked terrible. And then, he goes to get food and everything. And he comes back and this place is like destroyed. And the brother's like shot or something. And I was just like, this is weird. I don't know if it's alluded to that he kills him. That's what I assumed later on. Like,
I think it's like there's things. Like that guy, the one that's in the trench coat that doesn't really, I think he's the reason, like, I think he died because of him, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of like little things in here where I'm like, somebody died, who killed them? But he wanted to become Enhanced Eddie again. And then when Vernon died and his like house is a mess, there's like cards laying out and like other stuff that I'm like, what? Like a golf club, there's like food spill, and you kind of just like wonder what these like people were doing searching for this pill. Like, why did they need to take out the cards?
But he's not yet learned French.
Oh yeah, we're getting there.
So he's looking through this house because he kind of clues in, like he calls the cops and everything, but then it clues to his mind of like, wait, there must be more in the house. Like, did they find it? So then he starts rummaging through the house, puts on gloves, and he finds it in like the stove, and it's like a big sack of the pill, and he hides it on him, and he takes all these gloves off. But then they take him to the station, and I'm like, did they not search him? There's this bag is huge, and he hides it in like the back of his pants or something. And I don't know, that to me, I was just like, that makes no sense.
Also,
dude.
this is pre-haircut. He looks like a schlub. And like, I mean, if you're a cop coming into that situation, like the most obvious suspect is the one that's like there.
And who is last there with his dead body. I don't know. Yeah. And then this over-the-top detective, he's barely in the movie. I swear, it's like, why is this guy here? It just doesn't believe him. He's all, something's not adding up. But then he's able to convince him to leave. And then, he takes more of the pill and everything. And this is where the movie like just goes into the typical like douchebag route. Like he starts doing stocks. He starts. Okay, so he takes a 4-digit IQ pill. And then his first thing is, I'm going to borrow money from the mob. Like, that makes no sense.
He goes shopping first, and then he does card reading, like playing poker, and he's making money that way. And then he becomes fluent in, what's his first language? Was it French?
He learns French.
Yeah. And then after that, he's like getting into stocks and doubling his money somehow.
But he didn't make that much money because I think he said he had like $900.
Yeah.
Which I think I've seen my friend at the casino make $500 in like 30 minutes off of brain dead, like putting money on a roulette table. So I assume he could have made more money.
He could have. I was like, this math isn't adding up.
Yeah.
He said he went from 900 to like 2,000. And I'm like, what were you betting on?
And then essentially, I saw this as like a comment. Somebody was like, if he kept doubling his money, if he just waited like half a day, he would have been able to double the money that like he borrowed from this mobster. So why did he even go to the mobster in the first place? Because if he just waited one more day, he would have gotten that money.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Or he takes the money from the mobster, makes millions of dollars, and it didn't once occur to him to pay the guy back. Like, it's $10,000, $20,000. Like, you just made millions. I don't know. That just...
Time is money, Shaandiin.
I guess so. And then he's with his finance bros, and he's like, I was getting jacked up and booted up.
I wrote that down. I literally wrote that line down. And it's so dumb. Like, he's doing these day trades or whatever, and these people show up behind him. They're all staring, watching him doing these day trades. Like it's some mind-blowing thing. I'm like, that's not fun to watch. Like if I saw someone day trading, I wouldn't be standing behind like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'd be like, I don't care.
And then there's that moment where he's like talking to this other finance bro at like some kind of gala or something.
Oh yeah.
And there's like a whole bunch of people standing behind him, like nodding and laughing along with him. And I like in that moment, I think he's talking about like if smart people were like actually smart, then like why did like all of these like societies fail? Like people just want more than what they have. It's not about being smart, which I think is supposed to like hint to like his demise at the end, but then he also doesn't really demise at the end either. So like, I don't know. There's usually like hints in movies where it's like gives you a little flash forward of like what's going to happen to this character. And I thought that was what that moment was going to be, but it wasn't at all.
No, it's very true. I feel like this movie kind of culminates in a strange way. When we get introduced to his ex, who's like not his wife or whatever, the one after his wife, I didn't really know what her role was in the movie. And I feel like they didn't either. So they kind of find like this little plot line of her like having the pill stashed at her house or something. And then, like that just... it comes out of nowhere. I feel like a lot of the stuff in this movie does show up out of nowhere, and then it just leaves like entirely. Like the whole thing with the detective, like he's trying to figure out if this guy did it, but you don't ever actually see it, you know? And I don't know if that's what this movie, like the director was like afraid to not have Bradley Cooper and everything, because Bradley Cooper is like in every shot of this movie. Like he's throughout this whole film. Rarely do they cut away from him. And the only time they do is for like that 4-minute scene with that girlfriend. And I'm just like, there's a lot of other intriguing stuff outside of him. Like, I don't know. I feel like they could have expanded on a lot of that stuff, especially with like his day trading or him like setting up this. He goes to this pharmaceutical guy to like replicate like the medicine, pays him $12 million or something to make more of it. And I swear, like we never saw anything else with that. I was like, well, what about that guy? That guy has to make this God pill. Is he going to be able to do it? Like, I don't know. There's just tons of questions that pop up in my head with this movie.
Also, that was so late in the movie too.
Yeah.
Like you would think that would be his first level of priority on the pill, would not to be like getting into like trading in stocks and making more money, but trying to figure out how am I going to make more of this pill because I need it. Like he's obviously addicted to the pill, not necessarily like the money and everything.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I don't even know what the message is behind like why take this pill so you can become like a big finance bro and a politician and all these other things and you can get the ladies.
I think this is also a really good example of Bradley Cooper's impressive addict acting, because he's been the center of a lot of films to do with addicts. Like after this, I think he did Nightmare Alley, which is like the dark version of this. Like I sort of expected it to have the Nightmare Alley ending for this film, but then he just becomes a good dude. Like like it made me think like, is Mamdani on the Limitless pill because he's the mayor of New York? But and then he also had what's the movie where he's like, hey, I need to get another look at you.
Is that Stars Born?
A Star is Born?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he plays like an alcoholic very well there.
That's
And then his
right.
new movie is about basically the same thing, I think. I didn't see it, but it's like
Maestro?
about an alcoholic divorcee.
Yeah.
Who's like is doing stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
His new movie after Maestro.
I don't even know. I can't
And
keep
maybe
up with all of his
I didn't see
director
Maestro,
things.
but he's like an addict to the groove, I assume.
Stop.
And was American Sniper, like the Hurt Locker, is he addicted to like
Killing?
adrenaline and war?
But I think his
And
acting,
Guardians of the Galaxy. Just
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
as goofy as this movie is, I think his performance wasn't terrible. It was honestly very effective. Like I didn't really question him being like a stonks bro.
That's true. I feel like with a lot of his performance, it's like this, he almost doesn't necessarily fall in the middle in a lot of the situations he's in. He's either like really extreme or he's like, I don't know. It felt very both sides of the coin, you know? Which I guess if you're doing a movie this way and it is super over the top, he was probably trying to match that type of energy and stuff.
There's also a lot of stuff to keep in mind because if they probably didn't shoot in order. So like you have to remember like he's like, oh, like I'm on Limitless pill number 4. So like I'm tapped in, or like, this is like today I'm living my gloomy life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I assume you got to keep track of like such a zany, because like the more zany the plot, like the more an actor I think has to keep track of what the heck they're doing from a day-to-day basis. And also like there's some really wild I think at this moment like there's like a transition shot from him being in a fight and like he punches a guy and it zooms into a whiskey glass
And he grabs
and then
it.
he grabs it and then he's in a bar. Like keeping track of that stuff is not easy.
Yeah.
He didn't keep track of the limp though.
Oh, the limp.
Oh my God. So when he gets that limp, it's like this weird shot of him. Like, I don't know what it is. It looks like he just missteps.
The limit limp.
And then he has a limp. And then he meets his ex and she limps too. I was like, what the fuck?
There's actually a really, there was a moment in here where I think I should talk about it later, but where the bad guy, he like, you see him limping for a bit and I'm like, oh, I bet he's on the pill too. And then it shows that he's on the pill.
I don't like the subplots either. So maybe that's one of my things with Bradley is like I feel like he carries a lot in this movie because I feel like he doesn't have a lot to play off of. Like even this Russian villain or whatever throughout the movie. Well, why do they even have a villain in this movie? Like, wouldn't the villain just be the medicine?
Or wouldn't it be like the
addiction? The evil
Van Loom
corporate
guy?
guys who are like, we're going to take down Syria limb by limb and steal all their oil. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, I feel like the mobster plot was just like a distraction from like the movie, or like, I don't know, pretending that.
I wanted to see that
like, he
guy's
was the bad
movie.
guy.
Like, what is a street rat kind of like drug dealer, crazy murderer do on the Limitless pill?
There was a tiny moment there where after he took the pill, I thought we were going into his perspective on the pill, and I was so excited.
My vocabulary wasn't so good.
Yeah, he starts talking different. He loses his accent.
What did he say? He was like, filet.
The smarter you get, you lose your accent. It's a horrible message.
He's like, filet. That's an interesting word. I would have never used that word before with my past vocabulary.
Filet.
I hated how Bradley drops this pill and this Russian guy sees it. He's like, what is that? What are you hiding? And he grabs it. And his immediate thought is to like, oh, I'm going to take this strange pill that this druggie has. Like, what? I don't know. That just baffled me.
Also that he keeps giving him pills.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. Like, he could have, like, later on he hires bodyguards and stuff for him for, I don't know why. Like, he should just deny him the pills. Like, if he was using his limitless brain, he would have come up with something to, like, not give this mobster guy his pills anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could just put, this is really dark, so I probably shouldn't say it, but just replace the pills with like, I don't know, however many milligrams of Fetty you need to kill somebody. Because like that happens on a day-to-day basis in our country.
Well,
sadly.
yeah, you would think like if you're blindly giving this guy something to ingest, couldn't you outsmart him and give him something that obviously could kill him?
Give him 1,000 cc's of Viagra.
Yeah. Well, there's like morally like a line that I guess Bradley has of like not killing. I don't know what it is. But then eventually later on in the movie, he starts killing people and he starts fighting back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, whatever morally line that was drawn there, it didn't matter. You should have just done it.
So what happens? He's like, so the pill starts to have repercussions.
Oh, yeah. He starts
yeah.
blacking out.
Getting
Right.
a little slow.
Oh, that was also another point I really liked because like he was blacking out. It was causing him to like move faster than he thought he was. Like he was walking 10 blocks
Oh, yeah.
per block.
Yeah.
And then he thinks he kills a woman or doesn't or does. And then he later gets it under control. He's like, oh, I realize that if I don't drink and take this pill, like I'm fine. And I'm like, isn't that true with any medication ever created? Like,
And then, yeah.
don't take ibuprofen and drink. Like that's also on the bottle.
I hate that too because it's like it kind of exposes the writer in a bad way. Well, there's a lot of stuff that does that in this movie, but it's just like little one-off lines like that. Like, oh, I started taking double doses to fully dial in or focus, and it's like, what? Why that you didn't convey to me that he needs to take double doses? He just started doing it for no reason, and I was like, that doesn't do anything for me as a watcher of this movie. Like, I don't know, it just felt really dumb.
Yeah.
And then they only do that so that way they can explain, oh, he's doing too much. He's going to start blacking out. He's going to forget things. He's going to move too fast or things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so after he has that like 18-hour bender of like moving too fast and like moving forward in time and forgetting stuff and possibly killing that woman, he goes to his like big meeting with the Van Loom guy, Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And then for some reason he decides he's not going to take the pill, even though he still has a whole bunch left. Like he has
Oh,
a ton
yeah.
Like
left.
he just arbitrarily decides like I'm
going to do this one on my
gonna
own.
clean up. And then he's like starts watching the TV because he sees this woman who he was hanging out with like found dead in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then Robert De Niro says, "Oh, are you one of those screen guys? I can't get along with these guys who can't spend 10 seconds away from a screen." And I felt personally attacked.
And then
by
my
Robert De Niro.
least favorite shot of the movie is when he runs out from that meeting and he like throws up and then it goes upside down. I'm like, what is the purpose of that shot? I really don't understand.
One of my least favorite shots is when he's like making out with this girl and they do that stupid 3D camera, but it's just them making out.
Oh,
like,
that's right. It's like on a steady cam, but then it like slows down and speeds up.
And then it like moves and it still shows them making out. I'm like, why? What was the point of that shot? Like they're making out. Like this is like his fifth time having sex in this movie. Like that bothered me.
So then he goes to meet up with like his...
Was it the blonde lady?
The crazy woman who's like dying from the pill. And he goes to meet in a diner and then she explains like everybody who went cold turkey died after taking NZT.
You have to keep taking it.
You have to wean it off slowly like she did. And then she says like, after I got off of it, I couldn't concentrate on anything for more than 10 minutes. And I'm like, that's everybody today.
Right. Okay, so then he goes to his ex's, not his wife, but his girlfriend at the building. And he's like having a hard time. And she's like, should I take you to the hospital? And he's like, no hospitals. And he remembers that he left his stash at her house in like a shell. So then he tells her to go get it. And then that's where you get like the whole 4-minute little murder mini movie of this guy chasing her. And I swear, every time it's probably just me, but they show this guy running and he's chasing this lady. Every time you see this guy running in this movie, he just looks stupid. Like he looks so slow. And he's like in this coat and he's just chasing him. He's like this bald guy. And then she asks for help from these dudes and then he kills both of them. And then she's forced to take the pill.
Well, she's calling him and like he says, is on the phone with her and he's like, you just have to take it. And she's like, what? And he's like, it's going to take 30 seconds. And then like within that 30 seconds, like that guy's about to kill her and is about to like find her. And then like it zooms in on like some clippers in the distance.
Yeah.
And then
A baseball bat.
Oh, a baseball bat.
And then a child's ice skates. And she goes for the obvious answer of using a child as a weapon to swing the legs
An
of like a
accomplice to murder.
5-year-old to swipe the
guy's neck.
Yeah, I equate him to like Abel Ferreira's character in Marty Supreme. Like he's like an old ass guy who's like chasing down the girlfriend, which I guess is now a trope.
Yeah.
Which is like an old New York guy chasing down the girlfriend of the protagonist with a knife as well. Yeah. I think Abel Ferreira had a knife in Marty Supreme. So maybe Josh Safdie stole this scene from
Limitless. Well, it's like she's running on the ice and it's this same stupid shot of her like running. She's in heels, by the way. And then, this guy's running up behind her, somehow catching up on ice, which I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And then, her version of, well, I saw a bat, I saw these scissors. She grabs a child.
Her limitless moment is.
Limitless potential. A God pill grabs a child and swings it at a guy's face. And the kid doesn't do anything. The parents don't do anything.
I know. There's like blood dripping and everything. And the little girl's just like looking up at her dad.
And then she just keeps running out of the ice ring and she's fine.
So I think at that point, it like begins the third act of like him. He essentially is being convicted with murder and he's trying to hide it from Robert De Niro and other people too.
Okay, so that's another thing with this movie. Like we mentioned with the pharmaceutical guy. This guy takes this pill that makes him whatever, smart, 4-digit IQ. All he does in this movie quite a bit is he pays other people to do all this stuff for him. And I'm like, with limitless potential, couldn't you do all this stuff yourself? Couldn't you be your own lawyer? Couldn't you make your own medicine? Couldn't you be your own bodyguard? Like he hires these 2 bodyguards to like follow him. And it's so stupid. The Russian guy shows up and he has 2 bodyguards. And I'm like, I don't need these parallels. And it's just like with a limitless pill, you're hiring all these people to do these things that you can do yourself. Like, why can't you do that? You have limitless potential. I need to stop saying the word limitless because I'm going to lose my mind.
There should be a limitless counter. So I think like at this point, Robert De Niro's caught on to him taking the pills.
Yeah.
And he's like, gives him this like, this Uncle Ben speech about like your powers. Like, what is it in Spider-Man that he says?
Great power comes great responsibility.
Like, I think Robert De Niro almost says that verbatim in this speech. And it's like a really long speech that
And he's figured out the pills at this point.
Yeah.
Like he can take them, no problem, because he doesn't mix them with alcohols. What he
prolongs it.
1,000 IQ moment for him. So he's fine. And now, he's with Robert De Niro in his office.
And then he's just like disappearing sometimes. Like he disappears to the courthouse to go do this like side by side where the guy's going to pick him out and he doesn't for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And then he comes back to Robert De Niro and they're about to go through that big merger deal.
That's right.
And then he gets delivered the box and the box has like a whole bunch of hands inside of it. And like he opens it right in front of Robert De Niro and Robert De Niro doesn't see it.
I think there were some hands in there that I didn't recognize from the film.
I didn't either.
Like there was like so I'm like, he probably had like some hands of like whatever, the dealers, like the guys but then there were like 4 other hands. So he probably was just killing other random people for their hands or just hands that he had around.
Who sent him the hands? The trench coat guy, right?
I think
Or the Russian guy.
It's really unclear to me.
Oh, it might be the Russian guy.
I think it could be the Russian guy.
Okay.
Wait, I guess the Russian guy did say like, "I'll skin you alive" or something. Yeah. I don't know. So it could have been him, but I don't know.
But I don't think Bradley Cooper knew that many men. So he definitely probably hurt some people that didn't deserve it, I think.
So you think that Bradley Cooper killed all those people with their
No,
hands?
I think like the bad guys like went overkill with the hands because they needed to fill the box. Like I bet, like
That's
my guess is he bought a box that was too big and was like, shit, 2 hands looks terrible in this box. I need at least 5 more hands. So then he's like, they're like positioning
people.
the hands. He's like, that looks really good. He's gonna freak out when he opens this.
So he puts them in like middle fingers. I'm like, how does that stay throughout shipping and everything?
Or rigor mortis.
Yeah.
No, so he gets the box of hands after. No, so he realizes all of his pills got stolen at the police station.
Oh, yeah, that's
because they
right.
were zipped in his blazer. I don't know why if you're the smartest man in the universe, you carry all the pills on you and give away your jacket at a police lineup for anybody to.
For a policeman.
Yeah,
to
for
look through.
anybody to have.
So this is the one part where I sympathize with the main character, and it's going to sound really weird. Bradley's freaking out. He looks through his jacket pocket, and he can't find his pills, and he's having kind of a breakdown. And I sympathize with that in a way because I'm lactose intolerant, and I take lactates. And sometimes I'll go out to eat, and I forget where my lactates are. And let's say I just ordered like a pizza or something, and then I check my jacket, and I don't see it. And I start freaking out,
Is it post pizza bite or is it pre pizza bite?
Sometimes it is.
You just ate a big piece and you're like, damn it, I don't have my lactates.
That's the only relatable scene in this movie where he can't find his pill in his jacket. But
so funny.
That's it.
I love it. So after that, he runs into the bad guy again.
Yeah.
And the bad guy at this point is on the Limitless pills. And he's like a little bit smarter, but like his look on the Limitless pills is he just wears a nice suit.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really seem that much smarter at all. Like you don't understand like what his purpose is on the Limitless pills. Like Bradley Cooper's purpose is to become a finance bro. But then this guy's purpose is to like ruin Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Like that's his whole potential on the Limitless pill.
His is to obtain more pills.
He wants more pills.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's kind of what I wanted from Bradley Cooper in the first place. But then after I was like getting really frustrated about that, like the script came in and was like, "Oh, I'm getting into the import-export business."
Yeah.
This movie's all over the place. It's really
edited in
hard to
such a-
figure out.
It's when it goes
Weird
full
way.
circle because he escapes back to his bunker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, his-
and then we're
his
back at the
apartment
beginning.
bunker.
His apartment bunker that he bought for $8 million. That's supposed to be like an ex-arms dealer lived there. So like it's secure. But then I think the Russian guy gets through the door in about like 2 seconds, like
Yeah.
about 5 minutes. And then it goes back to the beginning where he's on the ledge because he's
That's right.
like, if this is all going to end, it's going to be on my terms. And then he gets the inkling that there's one more pill hidden. So he gets the
Starts going
junkie
through his
instinct,
packages.
and then he goes back for one last high,
Yeah.
and then he finds it, and then he flubs it in a big way by like tripping over a box, I think.
And then it falls.
And it falls in a
Tripping
little
over a
grate.
box.
And he gets the genius idea. Oh, so dumb. The guy dies. Well, he doesn't die. He stabs him.
Well, first that guy, his big brain move is like, I took the Limitless pill and I put it into like a syringe or
Yeah.
something.
It shows him like injecting it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, I get more pill that way. And then,
And then he's about to. He's on the Limitless pill and he's about to torture this guy. And I'm just like,
To find out where he put his stash of pills, which he doesn't have.
yeah.
So they are breaking into his safe that they find behind a door.
his two little friends are.
his two goons.
Yeah, his goons.
And then the Russian guy like pulls out a whole bag of like torture tools.
He pulls out like his chef's kit.
His chef's knife kit.
And
of
he's
torture
talking about
tools.
his fillet knife. And that's when he
Oh,
says,
yeah, that's
fillet. I've never used a word like that before.
Oh, and then he's like, I just found the most interesting website in the world, Google.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I heard that the human intestine is 20 feet long or 20 yards
God.
long. I want to find this out myself. And he like still speaks with like a really offensive, like fake, like
Russian
foreigner accent.
Yeah.
And so he's going to find that out. And then Bradley
He tells Bradley, you're going to have front row seats
yes.
of this. Yeah.
Oh, he said he's going to fillet him in a way that like makes him still alive or something.
Yeah.
And then Bradley sees a knife in one of his boxes.
That's
and then
right.
somehow sneaks it. And the guy on the Limitless pill doesn't see this. when like you could like see like the cover of like a book of Russian literature and then remember it for the rest of your life. Like you couldn't see that your opponent, like your op, stole a knife from a moving box, and then Bradley stabs him.
That's right.
And he dies.
And he starts bleeding out.
And his
then,
goons can't hear him.
wait, but like he starts bleeding out, and then like Bradley's like has his like dark moment.
Yeah.
And then his epiphany is, I need to get my Limitless pill, and this guy just took it, so I'm gonna take a little lick
in his blood.
Let me just slurp this up.
And he licks foreign blood. Foreign bodily fluids, which can't be filled with anything good. There has to be disease or viruses in
bloodborne diseases in there. That wasn't a Limitless moment for him.
And they act like this. Well, this mob guy, he obviously wasn't. What was his life before the Limitless pill? He's probably doing a lot of crazy stuff. And you drink this guy's blood. But it's like, even then, wouldn't you get like a fraction of what it should be? Like,
I know. He should have just took that syringe that like that guy used and just stabbed it in for like the residual of that.
Yeah.
Instead, that would have been more than what you got in his blood.
But he eats the blood and then it lasts like a long time. And I'm like, isn't that not the same amount? Because at that point, couldn't you just lick each pill and
That's
you don't
true.
need like the full thing?
That's true.
Put it under your tongue.
And then the goons come back in.
Yeah.
And he speaks Russian.
Oh, this is where
he
we found a nice behind the scenes moment that I don't think would fly today, because he hides into another room and the goons are like smashing at the door, and then he opens it up and then hits one of the stuntmen with a TV. And apparently in real life, he gave that guy a concussion because he refused to have a stunt guy do his stunts for him. And then there's like footage of him being like, I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. Are you good? And I'm like, and then he's bragging about it later on an EPK interview. And I'm just like, that is really bad. Like,
that would not fly today.
If I concussed another actor in a scene, like I would feel so bad. Yeah, it's not a good moment for Bradley there, I think.
But anyway, he stabs the other goon in the eye with the little syringe.
With the syringe.
And the dumbest thing, he was already blind in one eye. So
he was?
Yeah.
I didn't notice
well, that's why, because he's blind. So then when he grabs the gun, he can't see him. So he's just like shooting, and he somehow develops echolocation. And he hears Bradley move like barely on the ground, and immediately he's like able to pinpoint him.
And I started blasting.
Yeah, and he starts chasing him.
And he has like 10 more clips because he runs out.
He's still going.
And then Bradley hits him with a piano.
And then the guy just folds over, and then he's
immediately
dead.
dies.
Broken window.
Died by broken window. And then after that, it just cuts to 12 months later.
He flies straight.
And he's got his new book out that I guess...
He goes clear. He goes clean.
And then it shows him running for office.
What did you guys think when they did that time jump? Were you guys expecting that?
I got an ad break because we're watching it on TV.
Yeah,
we got an ad break too.
It was less like...
an ad break?
Less jarring than I thought it would be, because like if that was just happening real time, I'd be mad.
The funniest thing is the way this thing is filmed. It's so all over the place in the beginning that when they did the first ad break, it took me like 5 seconds to realize that
wasn't the same.
This
movie.
wasn't the next scene. I was like, wait a minute, what is this?
The Mucinex man comes out, and you're like, yep, this checks out.
All of them were like pharmaceutical ads too, like for curing depression and all that stuff.
They were all pharmaceutical ads.
Yeah.
Like, this Eggland's Best commercial doesn't belong in this movie.
Why is he getting eggs now?
That time jump really, I wasn't expecting it. They got me. So when it did this jump.
But why is it 12 months, I wonder? And not like 1 year.
Because addicts.
Not 1 year.
Just right 1 year later.
What about 365 days?
Or like seconds. I don't know.
You know what it should have said? 12 months sober.
12 months sober.
Sorry. Go ahead.
It is Limitless chip.
So he is a politician now. And
he's Mom Donnie. He's Zoran Mom Donnie.
And then the Robert De Niro comes back and he's like,
Threatens him.
I want my, what does he want?
He wants to threaten him with like, I don't know with what.
Because he's a politician now. He wants
to,
his
like,
corporation
tax
to be
breaks.
like a part of like his kind of governance, I guess.
He just wants a bunch of favors from the mayor.
Yeah.
Which is how I assume it works in real life in New York.
Yeah.
Like they just show up and it's Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
Also, why would Robert De Niro agree to this film? Because it's not like he had that many scenes.
He doesn't show up till like an hour into the movie.
I think he had like a really good monologue that was just like him, like, this is the way I did it. I was a shark back in the day. You gotta, what does he say? He's like, you have to put in the hours. You have to show up to the boring banquets.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like, poor you. You have to drink champagne with a bunch of yuppies.
Well, it's funny because it's like he's scummy and he's trying to tell someone else, you got to do it the real way. It's like, you're an asshole. You're a scummy person. What do you mean there's
There's a real way.
Yeah, there's a real by the numbers way. It's like that whole freaking line of work is dog eat dog shit anyways. Sorry. I shouldn't care as much as I do.
We're heated over this guy.
Well, he makes a whole bunch of threats to Bradley Cooper at the end, and then Bradley Cooper's just like, nah. Like, that's okay.
Well, because he figures out that Bradley Cooper can tell the future.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he sees the car crash.
Someone's heart.
He's like, I see everything. And then like
he
a car
massages
crash
his
happens.
chest and he knows all the cardiac problems.
And he's
he
a
has.
doctor now.
Yeah. Gives him a sternum rub.
And the driver's just like, the chauffeur is just standing calmly in the background, like allowing this to happen.
Oh yeah, he like tells him to go off, and the chauffeur is just like
standing
being
there.
awkward in the background.
Yeah.
Such a strange movie.
And then it cuts to him sitting with his girlfriend, and then
After she said, like, if you don't get clean, like, it's over. Like, if you're this person who's on the Limitless pill, our relationship's done. And then it cuts to them at dinner together.
both with glazed, colorful eyes, still on the Limitless stuff. And then this waiter comes and he like asks him what he wants to order, and Bradley just like starts talking in Mandarin.
Racially profiles this poor man.
Yeah.
Just
What if he
starts
didn't
speaking.
speak that language?
I know. It didn't seem like the waiter did, which is the thing. And then, yeah, it's just like really, that made me cringe so hard. I think the moments that made me cringe in this movie the hardest were when he was like speaking another language.
Yeah.
Like
he
the
does
French
Italian
lady.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that waitress.
I did use Google Translate at a moment on when he was speaking French, and it was kind of nonsense. I don't know if that's Google's fault, but I was like, is he even actually saying anything? Because the French one sounded like a really poor imitation of like what someone thinks French sounds like. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounded like that Key and Peele sketch where he's like, oh, I can speak French to this waiter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he speaks 5 languages. He speaks English fluently. He learned French.
Italian.
He learned Italian. He learned Russian.
Mandarin.
And he learned Mandarin.
That's a lot of languages for one little guy. Anyway, the movie's over. It ends on like a nothing point.
Really nothing. Just
I guess
random.
they're
He
all-
learns no lesson.
Yeah. He doesn't learn that like taking the pill is bad, that like the fantasy power of this pill is bad, or like there's no lessons about intelligence or anything. It's just that you can keep taking the pill and like become all you want to become.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can draw a parallel between this and Nightmare Alley, but like where he learns his lesson at the end of Nightmare Alley, like in a big way. Like this is like the opposite, I think, which is an interesting character arc. I don't know if I could like see a film like this being made today.
I really couldn't. I feel like this came out at that perfect time, that exact moment in 2011. And for some reason, this movie was like caught on to the mainstream like a lot. And this movie had quite a big box office return. I think it's the second highest, well, at the time was the second highest box office return for Lionsgate in general.
That's crazy.
Yeah, which is weird because this movie's very strange. It's edited in a very strange way. It's filmed in a very strange way. And I think the idea was just simple enough for people to be like, that sounds interesting. So then they checked it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of like dads would like this movie and be like, I'm limitless with this pill. And I don't know. It doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Like, and if you were to make this movie today, I feel like people would make fun of you for like celebrating like this guy whose goals are to be like a finance guy and pull ladies. Like, I think that's like the lowest strung of like what it means to be a good person these days. And it's just like really funny that this is like a celebrated movie.
And it literally, like, why is he a writer? Like, it plays nothing into the movie.
It plays nothing into it. And like, he wasn't a true artist because like he didn't want to change the world through art. Like that wasn't his end goal. He gave that up so quickly. And that pissed me off about it.
He immediately drops creative expression to sleep with women, kill a blind guy, racially profile people, and become a politician.
Yeah. There's nothing really good about this movie. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite the first time that I kind of watched it.
Yeah.
I made fun of it back then, and watching it again, trying to like find interesting stuff about it. I will say like there was like some things in like for the time, I'm sure like that like crazy like jump or like the 3 cameras on like one gimbal thing probably like blew people away.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really crazy to see how like gimmicks like that and like really trendy ways of filming stuff kind of like lays flat to like actually finding or using tools to like create meaning in your movie, I guess. This one's just like so like film school 101. Like he's on the pill, like really bright colors, steady camera.
The fisheye lens
he's
out.
off the pill, like handheld motion, desaturated stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It just feels so basic.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree. I don't think this is my favorite film in the world, but I do think there's a special thing about it because it's so like, I don't know, there's so much budget behind it. It's got Bradley Cooper. It's like such a wild idea. I think like it's such a nice little time capsule of like this sort of film bro-y thing that was going on in the, 2011s, 2010s. Like it's a curious time because I don't see films being like made like this. Like really, like everything's so. I think there was like a sort of move to like dirty doc, like Babel or like Amoris Peros. That's the same director. But just like films that were sort of emulating this like real doc style, but like now everything is like this weird glossy Netflixization of like cinema. Like Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein was like so clean and so measured and like so sort of funhousey. And like there's such a weird time of like doc style filmmaking on film, like actually shot on film, like Limitless was. Like it's a weird time capsule of performance and like editing and design of movies. And I don't know. I sort of miss this sort of hammy time where like a very hammy film could come out and people would take it seriously. Cause like, I think now it would not be taken seriously at all.
I think there is enjoyment to be had of watching this and seeing the parallel between now or, actually just kind of the opposite side of the coin of just like things that are super polished and flat and generic. This movie doesn't feel like that. It's not great, but I mean, it really stands in like its own kind of realm, and it's just very strange to watch. Like, just like what, like for again, like while watching it, I'm watching the ad version, and an ad pops up, and I legit had to question whether or not that was part of the film. That couldn't happen now if I watch TV or something. But yeah, it's very strange. And one of the things that you mentioned that kind of does worry me about filmmaking in general is like, what could in the next 10 years, like movies being driven by like analytics, what could that look like? Like, I hear a lot about Netflix, and what they do is they look a lot at analytics of how do you make a movie? Like, oh, it has to be eye grabbing at this point. Oh, at this point you're meant to laugh, it's driven by that. And directors are kind of meant to fit in that, kind of sequence of your movie has to do this, like that's what Netflix thinks a movie should be. And
yeah, it's things that are being driven by like audience, but then also not really, because it's not like they're actually inputting into it. It's like analytics of like somebody watching something or like when they turn it off, when they pause it, all of these things. And I did like work on a commercial with a company a while back where originally the edit was supposed to just be what it was, but they made like 300 versions of a 15-second clip. And then they A/B tested all of those on their platform to see which ones perform the best. They would change like the colors of the font. They would change the font. They would change the music. They would change like the color grading, like all of these different things to determine like what is the best version of this 15-second clip, which is ridiculous. And I don't know, you think about like movies being made that way and like Netflix doing kind of the exact same thing, or like producers being too scared to do something different because it doesn't fit within like the algorithm of like what people want to make. So it is interesting to see a movie like this in the time of like where everything is so polished and like unquestioned. Like I think a movie like this is so weird, and I mean not like
it wouldn't happen
weird
today.
Film bro. Like I don't even know what to call it. It's like the same as like Spider-Man 3. Like it's like kind of like old like white guy people who have limitless potential with their budgets, and then they make something like this. Like it's really isn't like that much of a commentary on like the world or anything. It's like within their small bubble of things, the stuff that they can imagine is, I just want to make more money. I want to sleep with all the ladies. I'm going to become a genius. And it's like, that was like the potential of their tiny world, I guess.
And it's so evident because that's all this movie focuses on. It's like, as a writer, it's like, that's insane. Like you give someone this pill and something, and that's like the best you could come up with. And then it shows all the holes in the movie of like, why didn't this guy do all the stuff himself? You know, that doesn't make sense.
I think the version of this film I would want to see is like auteur filmmaker takes like the Limitless idea and like it makes you the smartest person in the world, but it doesn't make you suave. It makes you really, really weird. So like Joaquin Phoenix walking around on the Limitless pill, just like whacked out of his brain, like the 1, 2, 1, 0, 2 times 4 is 8, 8 times 8 is 16. And like
that would be enjoyable.
And he's like a genius and like he rules the world, but he's like, yes, I'm on the Limitless. And like that's just what he does.
Well, when you hear this guy talk about it in the movie, it's like his mind is going on all cylinders all at once. He's thinking of things that just remind him of everything. It's like, how would this guy not be insane? Like that just sounds like you have OCD and all these voices are in your head, you know, like that sounds scary.
You'd be locked up immediately.
I think he would straight to jail for this.
Did you know that Shia LaBeouf was originally supposed to play this guy?
That actually would have been kind of entertaining.
I think it might have been more entertaining than
I think it would have been good.
I think you would have gotten a little flavor of what you're talking about. He would have become real weird.
It's funny. You just get like Mark Zuckerberg. Not that Mark Zuckerberg is the smartest guy, but like, geez, you know, like that's the guy.
Weird guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy who's limitless. Mark Zuckerberg.
Jeff Bezos is limitless.
It's funny. This film kind of was like the birthplace of like a lot of ideas like this. Cause I feel like it was like 2 or 3, 4 years later, they came out with a movie called Lucy, which was Scarlett Johansson. It was the same thing. What if you could access 100% of your brain? And in that one, she gets like superpowers and she could start making things float and blow up. And yeah, it's basically like she's the end of the world. So it's like the other side of the coin, I guess, of it does something super insane. But
I kind of like that stance a little more. Like at least it does something.
That sounds kind of more entertaining.
In this one, it's like, at the end of the day, like his character doesn't really have any consequences. Like he didn't really face anything bad. Like he never got himself into like a pickle. Like I think
even though he murdered someone.
Yeah. I feel like there's like so much there that's just like overlooked. And like, I don't know, I would rather him take the stance, or this character take the stance of like being like doing awful things on the Limitless pill and like becoming a really bad person, and nobody likes him anymore because like he's a douchebag. But yeah, that's not this movie.
Yeah, he becomes really shallow and just like drives Maseratis around like Dubai.
Not Dubai. I think it was Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta. Every vacation town in sepia is Dubai for me.
Nice. So what would you guys give it out of 10 if you had to give it a rating?
Ooh.
Oh, I think I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. So like 5 out of 10.
Okay.
That was me.
I'd probably give it a
Letterboxd.
3. I mean, it wasn't so bad. Like I was still entertained. Like it's one of those movies where it's like funny to watch because it's so dumb.
Yeah.
And so it did entertain me. I'd give it a 3 out of 10.
I'd probably be at like a 4. I feel like I'll never watch this movie again. I mean, unless I was like that bored. But it might be one of those movies where I kind of go on YouTube and just watch the scene just for like the absurdity of it. But yeah, this movie, the writer doesn't realize what, there's so much more out there than just money, women, getting over creative humps and drugs. Like, I don't know. It just like, this literally is like a big toolbox for a writer to use. And this was the best the writer could come up with. It doesn't pay off at all.
It's the most pro-drug movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, very strange.
Strange film.
Nice. Well, thank you for this recommendation, Shaandiin. It was
I guess so.
Kind of insane.
Thank you for making me waste 2 hours. Just kidding.
Well, it's funny because
actually probably 2.5 with all the ads on Tubi.
I approached Shaandiin about being on the podcast and everything, and she starts naming films, and like Forrest said, Limitless just kind of comes out of nowhere.
Well, I just remember hating this movie so much that I was like, I could talk about hating this movie. Like, even the films that I love the most, like, there's so much about it that I would just be like excited about, and that would be a really boring thing to listen to. I feel like hearing people hate stuff is interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. This was quite the watch. So if you guys haven't seen Limitless, let us know what you guys think.
It's on Tubi.
It's on Tubi, and there's a spin-off series
called Limitless.
Also called Limitless. I think there's like 4 spin-offs or something. I don't know. I watched a scene from the show, and it's like he's almost getting hit by a train or something. Somehow, when you take a 4-digit IQ pill, bad shit starts to happen.
Yeah, and Forrest, your Limitless pills didn't really do anything for us.
I didn't feel a change.
30 seconds in, I did nothing.
I think they're just vitamin C.
I should have injected it.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. This was great.
Awesome. All right, we'll see you guys later.